So today I thought I would do a new video with my new lights and my new kind of setup. I've kind of spent the last couple of hours getting this all right and setting it up, so I thought I would film a video, and I thought I would do the first times tag, which I've got here on the Beauty Crushes video. I've just got the questions on my phone. So I'm going to ask the questions and then answer them myself, because I like to interview myself, obviously. So the first question is, do you still talk to your first love? Most definitely not, and I don't know why I would. Just put it blunt, really. Number 2 is, what was your first job? My first ever job was working in the co-op, which, if you're from America or you don't know what the co-op is basically like a supermarket. So I think America have like Walmart, and there's Tesco's, Asda, and they're everywhere here in the UK. But I worked on the tills, and I used to work Sundays 10 till 4. That's all I used to work, 1 day a week, and but then gradually I got more and more hours, and I used to do a few evenings here and there, but it was okay. It earned me a bit of money to buy clothes mostly, so that was good. Number 3 is, what was your first car? My first car was a little grey KA. It was like a dark grey colour, and I absolutely loved it. A few months after I got it, I think I just plastered it in like flower stickers. Sadly, my little car got broken into on my drive, and that was the end of that one, and it got scrapped actually, so it was kind of sad. Number 4, who was the first person who texted you today? I think today it was probably my mum or my sister. I don't think there was a lot of time in between them, so it was probably one of those two. We text each other good morning every morning, so it's always them pretty much. 5 is, who's the first person you thought of this morning? Probably my boyfriend, because he's the first person I spoke to in real life, so I guess I was thinking of him because we were conversating. That sounds awful. We were having a conversation. Number 6 is, who was your first grade teacher? Now, school in the UK is a little bit different, and we don't have the grade thing. But the first teacher I ever remember was Mrs. Cooper. I think she was like an English teacher, I can't really remember, but she was really nice. She was quite strict, but I always learnt loads when I was in her class, and I always really enjoyed it. So she was my first favourite teacher. Haven't got many, but she was one of them. Number 7, where did you go on your first aeroplane ride? I think we went to Spain. I was way too young to remember, but I was a little toddler. But yeah, I think we went to Spain with my parents and maybe another family or something, but I don't actually remember anything. All I know is I've got a lot of pictures of me walking around on the beach, completely starkers, so cheers parents. Number 8 is, who was your first best friend, and do you still talk to him, her? My first proper best friend at school was a guy called Neil. Hi Neil. He sometimes watches these videos, I think. So he was my first like proper best friend at school, and yes, we still do talk. We've been friends since we were like, how old are you in year 7? Like 11 or something? Basically like 15 years I've been friends with Neil, so he's definitely one of my best friends, and yeah, we're still friends. That's good. Not many people I'm still friends with from school, so that's good. Number 9, where was your first sleepover? I think I had a few sleepovers when I was at secondary school, and I always absolutely hated them. The idea of sharing a room with 20 other girls just completely baffled me, and sleeping in a sleeping bag when I've got a bed at home, just absolutely hated it. I also used to get really homesick, so even though I was only down the road, I used to always want to come home, and I think a few times my mum actually had to come and get me. So my first sleepovers weren't very memorable, and I think there was only about 2 of them in my entire life, because I'm not really the kind of sleepover kind of girl. Don't really like sharing bedrooms with millions of people, so it sounds so wrong, but you get me. Number 11, whose wedding were you in for the first time? I've actually only ever been a bridesmaid once, and I was a bridesmaid for my auntie, and when she got married. I've just noticed this bit of, I can't even remember how many years ago, but yeah, so only the once, and that was about 10 years ago I think, so quite a long time. So if you want me to be your bridesmaid, I'm here for hire. I'm a good one. Number 12, what was the first thing you did this morning? I think the first thing I did this morning was probably check my phone, kind of a general thing. Always check my phone before I get out of bed, which I hate to admit, but it's the truth. Social media, every sort of social media, emails, time hop, Snapchat, then out of bed. Takes a while. Number 13, what was the first concert you ever went to? Sad to admit this, but actually it was my sister that wanted to go. We went to a Mel C concert. Yes, the girl from Spice Girls, we went to see her. She wasn't in Spice Girls then, they'd split up, but we went to see her in Ipswich, which is some town near us, and yeah, it was pretty horrendous, but I did win a badge pack I picked up some ticket thing and I won some badges with Mel C on, so I was pretty chuffed about that. Number 14 is first broken bone. Now the first broken bone officially broken, because I've kind of broken fingers before and I think I've broken my nose before, but they haven't ever been x-rayed. But the first bone that I proper broke that was x-rayed and plastered was my elbow, and it was the most horrendous thing ever. I basically slipped over on some ice and was holding my coat, so my arm was bent, fell directly onto my elbow, dislocated it, broke it and passed out all at the same time. And it was pretty horrible. The only good thing about it was I got about 6 weeks off of work and it was over Christmas, so that Christmas was pretty cool. I had to have a plaster cast from like here to my fingers, so my arm was like this, just bent, and it was all plaster. So that was pretty unsociable really over Christmas, but you know, and it did hurt so bad, so bad. My elbow was like triple the size. Number 15, first piercing. Obviously my ears. I think most girls that have their first piercing is always going to be their ears. I haven't really got any other piercings apart from my ears now. I did have my belly button pierced when I was about 16, 17, and I've regretted that. I've taken it out now. But yeah, so my ears were definitely the first one. Number 16, first foreign country. Does that mean go to foreign country? I think that was when I went to Spain when I was little. That's foreign. Number 17, first movie you remember seeing in the theatres. Oh gosh, I don't even know. No, not Charlie and Charlie. It must have been some cartoon. I can't even remember. I don't know. Number 18 is when was your first detention? I have actually never in my life had detention. Number 19, who was your first roommate? I guess when my sister was born, she was my first roommate. We shared a room. We had bunk beds and she got the bottom one because she was the youngest. It was quite fun actually, because we used to sneak out of bed and stuff and like do things that we shouldn't, like run around the hallway thinking that no one could hear us when our parents obviously could. Sometimes I used to make her shove a teddy in her mouth to stop her from laughing, and yeah, it was really fun times for me. I'm not so sure about my sister. Number 20, what was the first lesson you ever took? Probably guitar lessons. I did guitar lessons at primary school for quite a while actually. I got quite good at it, and my granddad used to like build me like little book holders and things, and I used to go around to his and like play him guitar and things. And I'm really sad that I gave it up, because I didn't really give it up by choice. It was because I was moving school and I had to like leave my lessons and leave my teacher. I'd really like to actually learn it again, but who knows, maybe one day. Number 21, and the last question, is who was the first beauty related person you watched on YouTube? There's two I watched on YouTube. One was Panacea, Lauren Luke, and she did really well. She put out brushes, very much like Pixie Woo. I met her once on This Morning when I did a makeup thing with her, and she was a really lovely girl and, you know, really nice to watch and stuff. I loved her videos. And I also watched Lollipop 26, which is Laura, and I'll link these both below because I know that Lollipop 26 has got a different blog name now. And I just used to love her hauls. She used to be able to explain things just perfectly, and it would make me want to go and buy everything that she talked about. So it wasn't really good for my bank balance, but those are the first two that I watched on YouTube. So guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the new setup. Let me know if there's anything you don't like or what you do like, and I will see what I can do about it. As always, I'll see you next week for another video. Have a nice day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye! Oh, it's Coca-Cola. Got to pack this all away now. This is quite stressful.